Hello and welcome to Only Connect, the show so full of devious, cunning twists and tricks that at the end of it, Anne Boleyn will have her head cut off. So all that to come. But first, let's meet the teams. On my right, Mick Hodgkin, a journalist and former TEFL teacher who's been ranked 17th fastest in the Times Crossword Solvers Championship. John Tozer, a data scientist who has travelled by Concorde, towed a Concorde and sat in the cockpit of a Concorde while it was being towed. And their captain, Richard Heald, an IT consultant who has cleaned the bathroom of a former Archbishop of Canterbury. United in their search for solutions, they are the Cluesmiths. Richard, you won your first game against the operational researchers, but you lost to the Yorkers, then beat the mixologists. What's been the highlight of the Only Connect journey so far?
The highlight was probably beating a team who looked as though their combined age was less than John's here.
This evening you will be playing on my left. David Smith, a former chartered accountant who's played a lot of board games in medieval Welsh castles. Sri Kantamneni, a management consultant who speaks 4 languages fluently, can get by in a further 3 and can read another 2. And their captain, Bob Thompson, a tram enthusiast who keeps 2 retired racing greyhounds and was once patted on the head by ventriloquist Terry Hall. United by a love of the lines, they are the Railwomen. Bob, you came straight to this quarter-final. You beat the Collectors in your first heat and then beat the Spaghetti Westerners. You confident of another victory now?
No, don't think so. Just here to enjoy ourselves and hopefully not embarrass ourselves.
This is a quarter-final. That means tonight's winners are going into the semi-final. The losers are going home. And there's some gamesmanship right from the off, because Cluesmiths, you won the toss, but you've decided to put the Railwomen in first. So, Railwomen, please choose a hieroglyph.
2 reads, please.
First question of the quarter-final will be the 2 reads. They're going to be picture clues. Something connects them. What is it? Here's the first.
Sequoia, giant redwood. Yes. Next. King. No, it's King. What's his name? He's in Jungle Book.
Blue.
No, that's the bear. King Louis. Next. Is that an iris?
The cornea.
Cornea. No. Next. The Q. Oh.
3 seconds.
E.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So, Cluesmiths, do you want to have a go for a bonus point?
I'm sure it's screamingly obvious, but it escapes us.
Now, I'm interested because E is not a million miles away, and also you spotted the sequoia at clue 1. There is a famous thing about a sequoia in a quiz, which is that its name contains all the vowels. In this case, we're looking very specifically for words with 4 consecutive vowels. So, sequoia, King Louis, O-U-I-E. Not the iris in that photo picture, but the aqueous humour in front of the iris, and then a Q, U-E-U-E. Words with 4 vowels in a row. So, Cluesmiths, you don't get the bonus, but you do get a choice. What's it to be?
Water, please.
Water. OK. The music question. We're getting the novelty ones out of the way early. What is the connection between the clues you're going to hear? Here's the first.
I love her, can't leave her. Forever, I always need her. She lied, but I believe her. Love sick, I got that fever.
Next.
Love stupid.
But Caesar had squeezed her in Rome on his quilt for a day. Now Anthony got really
it's a bang, bang.
angry.
Shall we get one more? Next, please. Is it bang or bang bang?
Is the right answer. Goodness me, you didn't hear the last giveaway clue, which I was quite looking forward to. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down by Cher. What did we hear?
The second one was B.A. Robertson,
Yep.
Not sure about the first one or the third one, to be honest.
Oh, really? So you only recognise Bang Bang by B.A. Robertson?
I knew the third one was Bang Bang, but I can't think of the artist.
It's Jessie J with Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj. So Bang Bang by will.i.am, by B.A. Robertson, by Jessie J and by Cher. Relman, what would you like?
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Siemens Company. Yes. They built the infrastructure for something or other. I can't remember it. Right. Next.
Oh, they're all cooperatives. They're all owned by the employees. I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for another one? No. Don't go for it. You won't get anything better than that. No. Give a proper answer.
Next.
They were all used for funding Nazis. War machine. They were all used for funding Nazis.
I'll pass that over to Shri. He's got an explanation.
They were all involved in the Nazi war machine.
Well, yes, that's right. There are roles that these corporations played in Nazi Germany. You didn't need to see Hugo Boss, who were involved with the uniforms. Whether it's the war machine is rather a moot point. I mean, it's sort of all a war machine in the end. Siemens, it wasn't the infrastructure of war exactly. But insofar as the whole of Nazi Germany was a war machine, yes, that is how those companies were involved, which we know because they've subsequently apologised or donated to compensation funds for slave labour. Cluesmiths, over to you for a choice.
Horn Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Sandra Bullock. Next. Nigel Farage. Ooh. Could this be a wordy one?
Could be, but try
Should we have one more?
Yeah.
Next, please. Dennis Dillingsley, twice in one day. Oh, Dennis Dillingsley, twice in one day. Oh, Victor crashed the helicopter.
Oh, did Sandra Bullock? I don't know. It's quite possible, isn't it?
One more. Next, please.
Didn't they just try it anyway?
3 seconds.
Crash landed. People who crash landed.
All people who have survived plane crashes. I'm sure after 2 clues, viewers were shouting the many connections between Sandra Bullock and Nigel Farage. In this case, they survived plane crashes. Yes, Sandra Bullock did when flying home after finishing work on a film where she played a character that survived a plane crash. That then happened. Nigel Farage rather famously while campaigning. And a great hero, Chesley Sullenberger, landed his plane without loss of life on the Hudson. All survivors of plane crashes. Well done. Railwayman, last choice of the round. What's it to be?
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, what is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Say is something to be on the computer. Oh, next.
High-speed rail systems, aren't they? No, they're not rail companies, aren't they?
Next.
Oh, they're all NDA. They're all something in reverse. No, they're not.
Next.
3 seconds.
They are sort of acronyms in reverse.
That's not it. So, Cluesmiths, you have a chance for bonus point.
They are French acronyms.
Not all French, they're
Sorry,
different.
different. They're acronyms in different languages, which are anagrams of their English equivalent.
Now, I want to hear something exact for a bonus point and a place in the semi-final. What exactly do you think connects these clues?
We'll go for French.
They are all French anagrams of abbreviations in English for the same organisation. So, for example, TVA, Taxe sur la valeur ajoutée, is the French equivalent of VAT, value-added tax. So, SIDA is AIDS, OTAN is NATO, ADN, DNA. So it's the French expression, which is an anagram of the letters we use. Well done then, Cluesmiths. You get a bonus point and you get the last question of the round, the Twisted Flax. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. Next, please. To buy the cup.
Did they all have to be moved? Was the 2013? No, this last bit. This year.
So there's a bit of the World Cup in Qatar. Okay. Shall we go for it anyway?
No.
Of course not. Next, please. 24 Winter Olympics. 1994. Possibly.
1 second.
Were they all not held in the stated year?
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So, Railwoman, a bonus chance for you now.
It was the year when the cycle of the event changed.
That's what it is, and a bonus point to you. They very much did happen in those years because they were years when the cycle changed. The Winter Olympics used to be the same year as the Summer Olympics. They changed it. The Africa Cup of Nations, the Football Cup, had been in even-numbered years. Why did it change?
It would always coincide with the Olympics or the World Cup.
It used to clash with the World Cup, so they changed it so that wouldn't happen. And the Athletics Championships used to be every 4 years, went to every 2 years from 1993. So the years that sporting cycles changed. Well done for a bonus. That means at the end of round 1, the Railwomen have 3 points, the Cluesmiths have 4. Onto the sequences round. What comes fourth in a sequence? And Railwomen, you'll be going first again, so please choose a hieroglyph.
2 reeds, please.
2 reeds. What will come fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
1946. Next, actually, the Nazi.
Next.
2000 France. World Cup. No, 1998 was the World Cup. 2000.
Next.
2004. It's the Olympics. It's the Olympics. 17, so it's... That's 2000. Beijing.
3 seconds.
MMVII. In
China.
no country in China.
I can't give you long.
Cathay.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. Cluesmiths, you have the chance of a bonus point.
Is it MMV11 South Africa?
No, that's not it either. It's the European football tournament transposed into Roman and Latin. So the first one, 1996 is the date, Euro 96. Germany were the winners. MM 2000, Gallia or France were the winners. 2004, Greece were the winners. So MMV 111, 2008, the winners were?
Spain.
Spain or Hispania. No points, though, I'm afraid. Cluesmiths, what would you like next?
Lion, please.
Lion. What would come fourth in this sequence? I can tell you that they're all picture clues, so what would be in the fourth picture? Here's the first.
Next.
Daniel Radcliffe, Sir Harry Potter, or Bond and Potter, or Bond and Harry,
or... next, please.
It's Golden
Sean Connery.
Golden Pulse, Golden Snitch, so hang on, Golden Gun, Golden Snitch, Golden Boots.
3 seconds. Not it, I'm afraid you're out of time, so another bonus opportunity for the Railwomen. If you don't know, you just don't know.
No.
Yeah, is it that obvious?
The answer is David Beckham's left foot. Here's the reason. It's from the speech of Hugh Grant as the Prime Minister in Love Actually. What makes Britain great as a country of the Beatles, Sean Connery, Harry Potter, David Beckham. Do I sound anything like Hugh Grant? I don't, do I? David Beckham's right foot, David Beckham's left foot, come to that. Things that make up Britain, according to Prime Minister Hugh Grant in Love Actually. So no bonus point for the Railwomen, but a choice available to you.
David. Twisted Flax, please.
The Twisted Flax. What will come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
It is. Next.
Are these somebody's portfolios?
Yeah, it could be a sequence of sort of coverts. Next.
Oh, this must have been the CAA. It's not a spy like MI5. Might be this must be the CAA, isn't it? No, it could be
Homeland Intelligence.
yeah, but it could be on MI5 website.
3 seconds.
It's what they do.
Okay.
Internal intelligence or Homeland Intelligence.
That is an acceptable answer. Wireless interception used to be the responsibility of a department known as MI8. Propaganda and press liaison in the First World War, there was an MI7. So then MI6 oversees intelligence and stepped down a number, national security or counterintelligence or internal security, any of those things, the responsibility of MI5. Well done. Cluesmiths, what would you like?
Horned Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first clue.
Next.
South Utah, South Colorado. It's NM in the bottom right hand corner.
November Mike. Is it NM in the bottom right-hand corner?
I'm afraid it is not. So I'm going to show the third in a sequence to the railwayman for a possible bonus point. I want an exact answer.
A R in the bottom left-hand corner.
Unfortunately not. AZ in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, I think you know what this is, Cluesmiths. The problem is the sequence.
It's the 4 states that meet at one point in the Midwest of America.
It's the famous Four Corners states. Going clockwise, you'd arrive next at New Mexico and then Arizona, but we've put the letters where it would be if you were looking at it on a map. It's horrible, isn't it? Probably reaching the point where you don't even want to go to the semi-finals. Imagine what that will be like. Railwayman, what would you like now?
Shri.
Water, please.
Water. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next.
Something to do with the Plimsoll line. It's letters on the Plimsoll line.
Oh, is it?
Next. I know what the sequence is, but I don't know what comes next.
Could be Arctic, the A for Arctic.
Yeah.
Could be a
No,
Equator.
no.
No.
Yes?
S. T. What's in the brackets?
I'm going to put you out of your misery
no.
right there. Not the answer. Cluesmiths, do you want to have a go for a bonus?
Is it F in brackets freshwater?
It is exactly that. And why?
John?
I'm not sure of the sequence, but they're to do with keeping fish.
Oh, interesting. It's not to do with keeping fish,
Oh,
actually.
I'm glad I got there anyway.
The sequence is the Plimsoll line, markings on a ship. So a ship sits lower in fresh water, so the Plimsoll line is higher. So the markings going upwards would be W, S, T, F, according to how high the water goes up the ship. So F for freshwater is correct, but for a different reason. You get the bonus point anyway, and you get the last question of the round. Eye of Horus. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
So that's 8 times later.
5. Next, please. 10 a.m.
So that's going back on its time. So that's Oh, is it something about the clock? Is it the hands of the clock?
3 seconds. No, I'm afraid you're out of time. That's it. So another bonus chance. Railwayman.
It's 1:50 a.m.
No, that's not a sequence. That is just not a sequence. 12:01 a.m. is what I wanted to hear, and it's a simple maths one. 4:40 p.m. is 1,000 minutes after midnight. 1:40 a.m. is 100 minutes after midnight. Then we've got 10 minutes after midnight. And I want to hear 1 minute after midnight, 12:01 a.m. At the end of round 2, the Cluesmiths have 5 points. The Railwomen have 5 points. Time now for the connecting wall. You'll be going first this time, Cluesmith. The easy question is the first one. Would you like lion or water?
Lion, please.
The lion wall. You have 2.5 minutes to try and solve this, starting now.
Judy's a down. Yes. Bigelow, Cambrian, Coppola, yes. And who's the fourth? Vermont. Geodesic Domes, the Domes. Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard, Ventura Boulevard, Wilshire Boulevard, Sunset, Ventura.
Wow, 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay, so Geodesic Dome, Onion Dome, Little Rock. Kind of bread, onion bread. Onion bread. Allinson is a make of bread. It is a bread, yes. Okay. Which bread? Ham bread? Can we try onion? Oh, no, onion's a dome as well. Onion dome. Umbrella bread. Umbrella dome. Umbrella dome. Umbrella's bread. Umbrella's not bread. There could be a word like gone bad. What's the umbrella of? Umbrella. Onion. Yeah. Geodesic. These are domes. But what are the rest of them? Allinson, Farron and bread. They're bread. Yeah. Onion. Sorry, which one? Which one are you going for? Onion. Onion. Geodesic. Umbrella. And one of these two. Yeah, one of those two.
Yes. That's it. You've solved the wall. I mean, amazing. That's a very tough wall. You've done well to find those groups. What about the connections, starting with the dark blue group?
They are female film directors.
They are all women who direct films. The green group, starting Sunset.
They're all boulevards in Los Angeles.
And that's exactly what they are. The pink or purple group, starting Umbrella.
These are all domes.
They're all domes. What's gone bad?
That's the one that didn't quite structure properly.
Yes, it's a Persian one. That's actually the Persian word for dome, in fact. And the light blue group, starting Allinson.
Bread.
I'm afraid they are not types of bread. You are close. They are bakers. The Little Red Hen is a sort of folk tale about, literally, a little red hen, a sort of fable about hard work. Fariner, you don't know?
No.
It's Thomas Fariner who said to have started the Great Fire of London, a baker in Pudding Lane. So not the bread itself in the case of 2 of the clues, but the baker. Nevertheless, amazing work to find those 4 groups and 3 connections. That's a total of 7. We're going to bring in the Railwomen now, give them a horrible quarter-final connecting wall and see if they can solve it. It'll be the water wall for you. The line's been taken. You have 2.5 minutes to try and solve it, starting now.
Churchill, Canal Street's an area of Manchester.
Darlinghurst.
Don't know where Darlinghurst that could be. Chelsea.
Barnes, this is Simpson's character.
Yeah. Digby's a dog. Churchill's a dog. Orloff is a character that sells insurance. Churchill is a character that sells insurance. Digby isn't. Is there anything?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Bender is a character in
Futurama.
Futurama. Is Digby in Futurama as well?
Barnes, they're all groaning characters.
Burns Night. Bonfire Night.
Yeah. Twelfth Night.
Hen Night. Yeah, we've...
Bonfire Night. There's any other nights?
Chelsea Night, Digby Night.
We try Gala Night, shall we? Just cycle these
A
rounds.
Gala Night, yes. Bonfire Night.
Did he cycle the rounds? Okay.
Yeah. And there's Hen Night. Not Clark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Burns.
No.
Oh, yes.
That's the night's done. We've got to go for these. Dogs, surely. I don't know. Chelsea. Dogs. Churchill. Orloff. Benders. Dogs. Canal Street. Digby. Chelsea. Somebody else want to go? Feel free.
Each of the
10
Futurama
seconds now.
characters.
Futurama characters are
Bello.
Digby, Tony. No. Castro, Digby, Tony, Bender.
I'm afraid you're out of time. But you found a group on that horrible wall, so well done. Can you tell me the connection? Gala, 12th, bonfire, hen.
Can precede the word night.
You can put night after all of them. And you can still get points for the connections in the groups you didn't find, so let's resolve the wall. The green group now, all of Churchill, Digby, Tony.
Oh, yes, these are all cartoon animals used as advertising slogans or advertising vehicles.
They're
say.
animals involved in advertising. You went too specific with the insurance. All of and Churchill. But
Tony the tiger.
Tony the tiger from the Frosties adverts.
Digby the ICI dog.
No? The Dulux, the
Dulux
old
dog.
English sheepdog and the Dulux commercial. So that's right, animals in advertising. And the pink or purple group, Burns, Marx, Clark, Bender.
Futurama.
Possibly.
Yeah, characters in Futurama.
No, it's not. Now, you're right about Bender. He is in the Matt Groening series Futurama. He's a robot that smokes a cigar, as does Ken Clark, Groucho Marx, George Burns, cigar smokers. And the last light blue group, Canal Street, Castro, Chelsea, Darlinghurst.
Manchester.
That's not it. Canal Street is a sort of gay village in Manchester. They're in fact all gay villages. Chelsea in New York, Darlinghurst in Sydney, Australia, Castro in San Francisco. They're the vibrant gay districts, I'm afraid. But you did find one group and 2 connections as well, so that's 3 points, and they weren't easy walls. Let's have a look at the scores going into the final round. The Railwaymen have 8 points, the Cluesmiths have 12. Into the missing vowels round now. Fingers on buzzers, teams. This will decide the place in the semi-final. I can tell you that the first group are all things that can follow the word spare. Cluesmiths?
Time.
Correct. Railwaymen?
Room.
Correct. Cluesmiths?
Rib.
Correct. This one is spare one's breath to cool one's porridge. Next category, nicknames of French kings. Railwaymen?
Louis the Sun King.
Correct. Railwaymen?
Charles the Bold.
Not it, I'm afraid. You must lose a point. Cluesmiths, do you know?
Charles the Bald.
The nickname was Charles the Bald. Next clue. Railwaymen?
Philip the... Sorry.
I'm afraid not. Cluesmiths, do you know? No, it's Philip the Amorous. Next clue. Railwaymen?
Robert the Pious.
Correct. Next category, they might use a needle. Cluesmiths?
Nicholas.
Correct. Cluesmiths?
Anaesthetists.
Yes. No time to tell me that was tattooists, because the bell has gone probably to everyone's relief. That was as horrible as the rest of the rounds. It's the end of the quiz. And finishing with 17 points through to the semi-finals, it's the Cluesmiths. With 9 points, sadly going home, a lovely team, the Railwaymen. Sorry, it was lovely to have you. You had a great run up till now, but just couldn't get through this last thorny game. Did you get any? No, me neither. Join me next time for another episode of the quiz that makes you feel stupider than pushing at a pool door, spilling a drink by looking at your watch and consulting a homeopath combined. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Only Connect, the show so full of devious, cunning twists and tricks that at the end of it, Anne Boleyn will have her head cut off. So all that to come. But first, let's meet the teams. On my right, Mick Hodgkin, a journalist and former TEFL teacher who's been ranked 17th fastest in the Times Crossword Solvers Championship. John Tozer, a data scientist who has travelled by Concorde, towed a Concorde and sat in the cockpit of a Concorde while it was being towed. And their captain, Richard Heald, an IT consultant who has cleaned the bathroom of a former Archbishop of Canterbury. United in their search for solutions, they are the Cluesmiths. Richard, you won your first game against the operational researchers, but you lost to the Yorkers, then beat the mixologists. What's been the highlight of the Only Connect journey so far?
The highlight was probably beating a team who looked as though their combined age was less than John's here.
This evening, you will be playing on my left. David Smith, a former chartered accountant who's played a lot of board games in medieval Welsh castles. Sri Kantamneni, a management consultant who speaks 4 languages fluently, can get by in a further 3 and can read another 2. And their captain, Bob Thompson, a tram enthusiast who keeps 2 retired racing greyhounds and was once patted on the head by ventriloquist Terry Hall. United by a love of the lines, they are the Railwomen. Bob, you came straight to this quarter-final. You beat the Collectors in your first heat and then beat the Spaghetti Westerners. You confident of another victory now?
No, don't think so. Just here to enjoy ourselves and hopefully not embarrass ourselves.
This is a quarter-final. That means tonight's winners are going into the semi-final. The losers are going home. And there's some gamesmanship right from the off, because Cluesmiths, you won the toss, but you've decided to put the Railwomen in first. So, Railwomen, please choose a hieroglyph.
2 reads, please.
First question of the quarter-final will be the 2 reads. They're going to be picture clues. Something connects them. What is it? Here's the first.
Sequoia, giant redwood.
Yeah,
Yes. Next. King. No, it's King. What's his name? He's in Jungle Book.
The blue.
No, that's the bear. King Louis. Next. Is that an iris?
The corner.
Yeah, no. Next. The Q. Oh.
3 seconds.
E.
Not the answer, I'm afraid. So, Cluesmiths, do you want to have a go for a bonus point?
I'm sure it's screamingly obvious, but it escapes us.
Now, I'm interested because E is not a million miles away, and also you spotted the sequoia at clue 1. There is a famous thing about a sequoia in a quiz, which is that its name contains all the vowels. In this case, we're looking very specifically for words with 4 consecutive vowels. So, sequoia, King Louis, O-U-I-E. Not the iris in that third picture, but the aqueous humour in front of the iris, and then a Q, U-E-U-E. Words with 4 vowels in a row. So, Cluesmiths, you don't get the bonus, but you do get a choice. What's it to be?
Water, please.
Water. OK. The music question. We're getting the novelty ones out of the way early. What is the connection between the clues you're going to hear? Here's the first.
I love her, can't leave her. Forever, I always need her. She lied, but I believe her. Love sick, I got that fever.
Next.
Love stupid.
But Caesar had squeezed her in Rome on his quilt for a day. Now Anthony got really
it's a bang, bang.
angry.
Shall we get one more? Next, please. Is it bang or bang bang?
Is the right answer. Goodness me, you didn't hear the last giveaway clue, which I was quite looking forward to. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down by Cher. What did we hear?
The second one was B.A. Robertson.
Yep.
Not sure about the first one or the third one, to be honest.
Oh, really? So you only recognise Bang Bang by B.A. Robertson?
I knew the third one was Bang Bang, but I can't think of the artist.
It's Jessie J with Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj. So Bang Bang by will.i.am, by B.A. Robertson, by Jessie J and by Cher. Railwomen, what would you like?
Eye of Horus, please.
The Eye of Horus. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Yes. They built the infrastructure for something that I can't remember it. Next.
Oh, they're all cooperatives. They're all owned by the employees. I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for another one? No. Go for it. You won't get anything better than that. No. Give a proper answer.
Next.
They were all used for funding Nazis. War machine. They were all used for funding Nazis.
I'll pass that over to Shri. He's got an explanation.
They were all involved in the Nazi war machine.
Well, yes, that's right. There are roles that these corporations played in Nazi Germany. You didn't need to see Hugo Boss, who were involved with the uniforms. Whether it's the war machine is rather a moot point. I mean, it's all a war machine in the end. Siemens, it wasn't the infrastructure of war exactly. But insofar as the whole of Nazi Germany was a war machine, yes, that is how those companies were involved, which we know because they've subsequently apologised or donated to compensation funds for slave labour. Cluesmiths, over to you for a choice.
Horned Viper, please.
The Horned Viper. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Sandra Bullock. Next. Nigel Farage. Ooh. Could this be a wordy one?
Could be, but try it.
Should we have one more?
Yeah.
Next, please. Very stimulating. Twice in one day. Oh, very stimulating. Twice in one day. Oh, Victor crashed the helicopter.
Oh, did Sandra Bullock? I don't know. It's quite possible, isn't it?
One more. Next, please.
Don't they just try it anyway?
Yeah.
3 seconds.
Crash landed. People who crash landed.
All people who have survived plane crashes. I'm sure after 2 clues, viewers were shouting the many connections between Sandra Bullock and Nigel Farage. In this case, they survived plane crashes. Yes, Sandra Bullock did when flying home after finishing work on a film where she played a character that survived a plane crash. That then happened. Nigel Farage rather famously while campaigning. And a great hero, Chesley Sullenberger, landed his plane without loss of life on the Hudson. All survivors of plane crashes. Well done. Railwayman, last choice of the round. What's it to be?
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, what is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Say, is it something to be about computer? Oh, next.
High-speed rail systems, aren't they? No, they're not rail companies, aren't they? No.
Next.
Oh, they're all NDA. They're all something in reverse. No, they're not.
Next.
3 seconds.
They are sort of acronyms in reverse.
That's not it. So, Cluesmiths, you have a chance for bonus.